This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment and educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff so you get the videos I put them out. See what I'm thinking, see I'm analyzing that data. But like I tell every day, the data they release us is false. I'm going to give us a false narrative of the market so we can make bad trading decisions. Listen, I was watching the Roaring Kitty live stream, and people been asking me what I thought about it, and I didn't answer yet because I didn't really watch the whole thing. I started watching it, and I kind of was like, yo, what the hell is this? I mean, I thought it was absolutely outrageous, and I cut it off, okay? I really did cut it off. I didn't watch it all the way through because I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed on how it was going. I was disappointed in the fact that every time he was about to say something, they would halt GME. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. And I cut it off. And then I went back in and watched the whole thing in its entirety. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I believe that these GME naked shorters, these GME RICO conspirators, are in deeper trouble than they were in before Roaring Kitty came on. And I'm going to tell you guys why. First of all, Roaring Kitty was losing hundreds of millions of dollars right before our eyes. And he didn't flinch. He didn't flinch. He was the same jovial self the whole time. Nobody can be losing money like that and be of no import to them, okay? Unless they knew that they were secure in their position. Unless they knew they were secure in their position. And the fact that every time he was about to say something, they halted the stock tells me they were terrified. Terrified of Roaring Kitty. Terrified. But here's where I think the GME short sellers are really, really in trouble. First, Roaring Kitty was not afraid about his position going down. That tells me that he is confident that the position's going to go back up. That's what I read from his body language. That's what I read about his ease. After I went back and looked at the live stream with a different mindset. Okay, when I first started looking at it, I was like, yo, what the hell is this? That being said, the volume on Friday was 273 million GME shares. Okay? And we know that's not the real number. The real number is probably a whole lot worse. But that's the reported number. But think about this. Out of that 273 million shares that were traded on Friday, 130 million of those were shorted shares. 130 million were shorted shares because they're saying 44.5% of that volume was shorted shares. Now, let's assume, now we don't know for sure, but let's assume that GME got to sell all 75 million of their shares on Friday. I'm not sure if they did. I'm not sure if they didn't. But let's assume they did. Let's assume that GME sold 75 million real GME shares on Friday, and these bad actors were able to buy it and short it into the market. So if 130 million shares were shorted, and we assume 75 million of those shares were real GME shares, an assumption, that means 55 million GME shares that were shorted yesterday were counterfeit. So they didn't close any of their short positions. They just dug in deeper and got more shorts. Well, not even real shorts, more counterfeit shorts, more naked shorts. They're worse off than they were before Roaring Kitty came on, in my opinion, because they claimed that 130 million of that volume was shorted shares. But if we assume that 75 million of those were real shares that were shorted, and there's no guarantee that's it, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. We know 55 million of those GME shares that were shorted on Friday were counterfeit. Counterfeit GME shares that do not exist. So the bad actors are in a worse position now than they were before Roaring Kitty came on. And you know what that tells me? And I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell GME. I'm not telling you to buy any GME calls. I'm not telling you to sell any GME calls. I'm telling you, GME is going to run again. No doubt in my mind, that's just my opinion, because the bad actors didn't close their positions. In fact, they added at least 55 million new GME counterfeit shorts to their positions. And will they show up on the FTDs? Maybe, maybe not, because they control the narrative, they control the data. But the CAT system in 2 or 3 weeks will be exposing all the shenanigans that went on Friday. So as far as I'm concerned, I will be buying more calls. I will be picking up more shares, because I believe the GME RICO conspirators that have been robbing retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules, I believe they're in a worse situation than they were in before Friday, because they added another 55 million, at least another 55 million counterfeit GME shares to their short positions. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think that the GME shorters are in a worse position than they were in prior to Friday? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.